Good afternoon, all. We will start the session. In today's session, we will discuss about CMOS TTL interfacing. Here, the TTL logic family is the most commonly used family. So many of the digital circuits and many of the digital systems are built with the TTL logic family. So before the CMOS come into the picture. But after the CMOS coming to the in the digital design process, so here the combination of the CMOS and TTL gates are preferred to design the or to build the digital circuits or digital systems. And here we have different logic families, and each logic family can have different logic gates, and the logic families are differed in their electrical characteristics here. Example, if you take the logic levels of CMOS logic. So the logic 0 is represented in CMOS logic is the voltages between the 0 to 1.5 volts are represented as a logic 0. And in the logic 1 is represented with the any voltage between the 0.5 to the 5 volts is represented as the logic 1 in the case of CMOS. The logic 0 is represented with the 0 to 1.5 volts. 0 to 1.5 volts here. 0 to 1.5. Likewise, if you take the TTL logic family, in TTL logic family, the logic 0 is represented with the logic 0. The logic 0 is represented with voltages between the 0 to 0.8 volts are represented as logic 0, and the logic 1 is represented between the 2.7, the voltage just above or the 2.7 to 5 volts are represented as the logic 1. So now you can understand that from the CMOS logic and the TTL logic, the logic levels itself, they are different here. The logic levels itself, they are different. So based on the logic levels, based on the applied voltages, so there will be a proper function to that CMOS gate or to the TTL gate here. So now to designing the digital systems or to build the digital circuits, we need the interfacing here. Interfacing is very much essential here. So what is interfacing here? So interfacing means, which means connecting one device to the other device, connecting one circuit to the other circuit, or connecting one system to the other system. So that is, the output of one circuit is connected to the input of the another circuit. So here the interfacing is very much essential. By proper interfacing, by proper connecting the devices, we can have the faithful operations, or we will get the a faithful outputs here. So therefore here the interfacing is very much needed here. So interfacing means connecting the output of one device to the to the other device input here. But here the devices, they differ in the electrical characteristics. So the CMOS device will have different electrical characteristics, and the TTL devices will have the other electrical characteristics. So when the two circuits have different electrical characteristics, then we cannot directly connect them here. We cannot directly connect them. So in such cases, we use a special circuit or a device, so which interface the two devices here or the two circuits here. So Usually the circuit which is driving the other circuit, it is a driving circuit. I mean the driver, or it is said to be the driver. And the circuit which is driven by the other circuit is called the load circuit, because the driving circuit is driving the other logic family gate or the same logic gate, but it will be treated as a load to that gate here. It will be treated as a load to that gate. So out of the different logic families, we will take the most commonly used or the most widely used logic family gates, out of which, so here we have two commonly used logic gates, CMOS logic gates and the TTL logic gates. So that's why our focus is here, the interfacing between the CMOS and TTL gates here. So now here we can see the two types of the conditions here. One is the TTL output can drive the CMOS inputs, and the second condition is the CMOS inputs can drive the TTL inputs. Sorry, the CMOS outputs can drive the TTL inputs. So there are two possibilities here. One is the TTL outputs can drive the CMOS input, and the second possibility is CMOS outputs can drive the TTL inputs. Fine. So here the two possibilities are there. And within that, if you see, in the CMOS, we will find the two types of the devices here. One is lower voltages or the moderate voltages here, which is usually operating with the VDD. The power supply to that devices are the VDD is 5 volts here. The operating voltage is 5 volts. But we have the other type of the CMOS circuits. They are known as the high voltage CMOS circuits. And these high voltage CMOS circuits will be operated with a plus 15 volts power supply, or you can say that they will be operating with the normal voltages. The normal usual voltages is 5 volts. So the high voltage CMOS gates, they will be operated with the higher than the 5 volts power supply. So that's why here we have again two cases here. That is the TTL outputs driving the normal CMOS inputs, and the TTL outputs driving the high voltage CMOS gates here, or the high voltage CMOS inputs. So in the normal CMOS, the operating voltages are 5 volts. According to that, you will have the logic values. And when we take the high voltage CMOS, so the operating voltage will be up to 15 volts here. It is up to the 15 volts of the power supply. Therefore, according to that power supply 15 volts, the logic levels will be defined here. So therefore, the VOH value and VOL values, VOI, VOH, VOL, VIH, VIL. So now these four voltage parameters are determined by the power supplies here. They are the function of the power supply rails. So therefore, they will have the different voltage logic levels here. So in the CMOS TTL interfacing, usually we will have the two types of the possibilities. One is TTL outputs drives the CMOS inputs, and while it is driving the CMOS inputs, there are two types of the CMOS inputs. Normal CMOS inputs operating with the 5 volts, and the second is high voltage CMOS inputs. They are operating up to 15 volts of input voltages. Now the second possibility is, now the CMOS is the driver circuit and the TTL is the load circuit. So now the CMOS outputs drives the TTL inputs, and the second possibility in that condition, higher voltage CMOS are the now the driver circuits, and these high voltage CMOS circuits can drive the TTL inputs here. So now in this today's session, we will discuss how the CMOS connected to the TTL or the TTL are connected to the CMOS. Okay. So we will take the first case is TTL driving the CMOS. So before that, let us see the logic levels of the TTL and the CMOS logic families. As we know that the voltage logic levels of the TTL. So the voltage logic levels of the TTL are the VIH is 2 volts and the VIL is the 0.8 volts and the VOH, it is the maximum, it is the minimum voltage at the output to be recognized as a logic 1, and the VOL, it is the maximum voltage at the output to be recognized as a logic low state. So these are all the logic voltage levels. And if you compare these logic voltages with the CMOS logic families here. In CMOS logic, the VIL maximum is the 30% of the VCC here. So here the voltage parameters VIL, VOH, VIH and VOL, and all these are the function of the power supplies. So depending on the VDD, depending on the VDD, so say the VDD is 5 volts. So according to that 5 volts, these voltage parameters will be determined here. Suppose if the power supply voltage is increased to 10 volts, say now the power voltage, now the operating voltage is increased to 10 volts. So now the VIL, VOH, VIL and VOL. So these parameters now they are not same as of the 5 volts here. Now they will be higher values than the 5 volts here. So that's why I have not given the values of the VIL, VOH and VIH and VOL here, because they are the function of the power supplies here. That depends on the VDD, operating voltage. But most of the cases we will use the 5 volts, and in some cases we will take the higher CMOS voltages. Okay, so with these points, so we will move on to the interfacing part. And here also you can have another picture where you can see all the input and output levels for interfacing the CMOS and TTL families. This diagram itself, or the diagram alone can represent, or it can show you the logical voltages of the maximum of the logical families. You know what are the TTL logic families, and you know what are the CMOS logic families. Do you remember the logic families of the TTL and CMOS? Example, see here, LS, low power Schottky TTL, S, Schottky TTL, ALS, advanced low power Schottky TTL, AS, advanced Schottky TTL, F, fast TTL. These are the different TTL logic families, isn't it? And if you see the CMOS logic families, what are the CMOS logic families we have? The CMOS logic families, see here, HC. HC means is high speed CMOS. HCT means high speed CMOS TTL compatible. VHC, very high speed CMOS, and VHCT is very high speed CMOS TTL compatible. And we have the other that the FCT, FCTT, fast CMOS, where it is, here it is not, yes, here it is there. FCT, fast CMOS TTL compatible. So this diagram alone, it covers the CMOS as well as the TTL logic families voltage logic levels here. You can see the voltage logic levels: VOH minimum, VOL maximum, VIH minimum, VIL maximum. It is VIL. Okay, it is not VOL. VIL maximum here. So from this diagram alone, you can know the voltage logic parameters here. Okay. So you can see the examples also here. At the input of the VOL, the VOL maximum, it is the between the 0 to 0.8 for the cases of the TTL logic families. And it is also same for the CMOS TTL compatible logic families. HCT, high speed CMOS TTL compatible. VHCT, very high speed CMOS TTL compatible. Fast CMOS TTL compatible. So that's why when they are compatible with the TTL, their voltage levels must be lies between the TTL logic families only. Okay. So if from this diagram you can you can know the logic voltage levels of the CMOS logic families and the TTL logic families. Remember this, and then move on to the TTL driving CMOS. Let's take the first case. The TTL is the input part and the CMOS is the output. Let's say the TTL is the input which is driving the CMOS gate here. CMOS gate. The TTL driving the CMOS gate. The TTL driving the CMOS gate. So therefore, the TTL circuit is a driver circuit and the CMOS circuit is now load circuit here. It is a load circuit. So now look at this table here. Look at this table. So here the table consists of the input and output currents for the input and output currents for standard devices. Now you can now you can see the CMOS logic families here. See, 4000 series is a CMOS logic family, and 74HC HCT, it is also a CMOS. And how I am telling this it is a CMOS? By looking at the FAM, alphabetic function numeric, HCT. And similarly for TTL, the 74 is a standard series, original series, and 74L is the low power Schottky, and 74AS is the advanced Schottky. So now consider this table, and this table it representing the current parameters here. So what are the current parameters? The IIH, IIL, IOH and IOL, and all these are the maximum rated current values. These are all the maximum rated current values. By using these uh, current parameters, you can determine the DC fan out, the DC fan out, the low state DC fan out and the high state DC fan out here. Low state DC fan out and the high state DC fan out. So let's see the TTL driving CMOS. So the input is TTL gate and the output gate is CMOS gate here. So now when we want to interfacing a CMOS input to the TTL output gate, so we have to look at the current and voltage ratings of the two devices here. The current and voltage ratings of the two devices. First, we will see the current ratings here. What is the input here? The input is CMOS input. So therefore, from the CMOS, we will look at the IIH parameter. We will look at the IIH parameter and IIL parameter, which means that the maximum current that is flowing when the input at the CMOS is high state and the maximum current flowing into the CMOS circuit when the CMOS input is at the low state. Now, with respect to come to the TTL. So the TTL is the output circuit. So now we will consider here from the TTL, we will take the output parameters here, output current parameters, IOH and IOL here. IOH and IOL. IOH and IOL. So now, when the output is at logic high state, this current, IOH current is going into the IIH current. It is going into the IIH current. Now see the whether the IOH current is compatible with the IIH of the CMOS or not. This is with respect to the CMOS. This is with respect to the CMOS here. So now see what is the IOH of the TTL gate. Take this one as an example, 74LS, because in the previous also we have considered the 74LS only. You can take it any one, but I am considering here the 74LS. Now what is the output high state current is IOX. IOH is of the 0.4 milliampere. So here the current is 0.4 milliampere. So here the current is 0.4 milliampere. Now this current is going into the IIH. So now you have to look at the IIH here. So what is the IIH of the take this any of the CMOS device, because all are is having the same value of current ratings here. So you take the 74HC. Let take the 74HC. Okay, 74HC. So now the IOH of the TTL gate output is going into the IIH, right? So now what is the current rating of this CMOS gate here? It is 1 microampere. It is 1 microampere. So the output of the 74LS TTL gate is 20 microamperes and the 20 microamperes, and the maximum current that can be accepted by the CMOS input is 1 microampere. So now for this condition, the TTL output current can easily compatible with the CMOS input, because the TTL output is at 20 microampere and the CMOS input is the maximum current is 1 microcurrent. So therefore, this 20 current can easily handle the 1 microampere of current. So it is not at all a problem if you connect the CMOS input to the TTL gate. Now take the second condition, the output is at the low state. When the TTL gate is at low state output, now there will be current is IOL. Now see the current rating of this IOL from the table. The IOL from the table is 8 milliamperes. Okay, it is a large amount of current because the diode is forward bias and it allows the large current to flow through it. Now this current is now going into the CMOS input here, and the current rating is identified with the IIL. So now what is the maximum CMOS II current here? Look at the table here. What is the maximum IIL maximum? It is again 1 microampere. So now this 8 milliampere current in the low state of the TTL can easily handle the 1 microampere of current in the CMOS input. Therefore, from the point of currents, the CMOS inputs can be easily handled by the TTL output gate. So here it is cleared here. Now we will see from the voltage of point of view. So from the voltage point of view, we will see here. Let's come next. We will go to the next slide. So now let's see here, with respect to the current point of view, there will not be any difficulty from the TTL output to the CMOS inputs with respect to the currents. But now let's see with respect to the voltages here. We have seen, rightly we have seen in our before slides also, the voltage levels are different for the CMOS and TTL logic family. What is the TTL VOH here? What is the maximum voltage in the TTL at the output is 0.5 volts here, isn't it? Right? Right. So CMOS, what is the VI minimum? Because this output voltage has to drive the CMOS low voltage input. So now the CMOS VI rating is 1.5 volts here. It is 1.5 volts here, right? So the output voltage is 0.5 volts, but the input CMOS current is 1.5 volts here. Now, how this TTL gate can drive this CMOS input here? The TTL, it cannot drive this CMOS input here. So now what we have to do here? So for that, we use a pull-up resistor at the TTL output. Look at the diagram here. Look at the diagram. The TTL driving CMOS using the external pull-up resistor. Why we are using this external pull-up? Because the TTL output during the low state, it is not sufficient to drive the CMOS input for 1.5 volts here. So therefore, here we will use a pull-up network with a resistor value, and here in this case he has taken the 10 kilo ohm. So now so when the resistor is pulled to the 5 volts of DC, so because of this VDD there will be a voltage drop, and that voltage drop will be say a 5 volts, say a 5 volts, or maybe a 4.5 volts, or you can say that the least case you can say that 3 volts at the output. What is the required amount of voltage at the input of the CMOS? 1.5 volt. But here it has a 5 volts or the 4.4 volts higher voltage. It is because of this pull-up resistor. If you connect a pull-up resistor to the VDD, then the VDD causes to rise the voltage at the output of the TTL. So that voltage is sufficient to drive the CMOS input here. This is how the interfacing is done for a TTL driving the CMOS input. So do you understand this? TTL driving the CMOS input. So this is the case of when the operating voltage is less than the 5 volts or the 5 volts here. When the operating voltages are with the 5 volts here. So with the currents, there is no difficulty for driving the TTL to the CMOS gate. The difficulty that arises from the voltage levels. So to compensate that, so we are using a pull-up resistor here. So do you understand this? So when you are driving the TTL output, when the TTL output is driving the CMOS inputs, we need to connect a pull-up resistor to the VDD so that the CMOS gates can be easily handled during the low state output of the TTL gates. So do you understand this? Next, we will move on to the next one. Now here the second one, see the first possibility, second case. What is the first possibility? The TTL is a driver circuit, CMOS is a load circuit. In that condition, the second case is the TTL is driving the high voltages here, high voltage CMOS. So when the high voltage CMOS means the operating voltages are approximately a 15 volts of the operating voltage. That is the supply voltage is here, VDD is 15 volts. So we will have the same situation. The TTL is a driver circuit and the CMOS is a load circuit here. So here you can understand that when the output CMOS circuit is operating with VDD is greater than the 5 volts, so this situation is very difficult for the TTL output here, because the maximum output at a TTL you may get a 5 volts, maximum you may get 5 volts, or even it is below the 5 volts here. But this 5 volt TTL output, it cannot run a CMOS input which is operating at the 15 volts here. So for this, so here there are two alternates here. So if it is the case, What is the case here? The TTL is having the low voltage outputs, and these low voltage outputs are trying to drive the high voltage of the CMOS inputs. So it is very difficult for the CMOS, it is very difficult for the TTL outputs to drive the CMOSs operating with the 15 volts. So to overcome these difficulties, there are two alternatives. One alternative is you can see in this diagram. So one alternate is you can see in this diagram, which is for totem pole output here, which is for totem pole output. So for a totem pole TTL output, which is connected to the open collector output TTL, open collector TTL. So, so that here it is connected to the open collector buffer. You can say that it is a buffer here. Okay, so here this buffer input, it takes the low voltages of the 5 volts and it can produce a higher voltages or approximately say 15 volts here. So to overcome from this situation in the interfacing circuit, we will use a TTL buffer circuit. So this buffer, it takes the low voltages and it will be converted into the high voltages. When the buffer is at high voltages output, so this output, this high voltage can easily handle the CMOS 15 volts gates. So this is one remedy, or this is one alternate way for driving the TTL driving the high voltage CMOS here. So in the first case, the voltages operating below the 5 volts gates, we are using the pull-up resistor, and in this case we are using a buffer, TTL buffer. We are using a TTL buffer, and this buffer will do that. It takes the low voltages and it will be converted into the high voltages. So when the high voltages at the TTL buffer output, that voltages are driving the CMOS gates here. So this is how the TTL gates driving the CMOS inputs. So these are the interfacing concept for the TTL driving the CMOS. Now the alternate case here. What is the alternate situation? I mean the alternate condition, alternate situation is CMOS is driving the TTL here. CMOS is driving the TTL. So before to see that, there is the second alternate way. So this is the first alternate way for handling the high voltage CMOS circuits. For handling the high voltage CMOS circuit, this is one alternate circuit, one alternate way. Now we will see the second alternate way here. So in this same, the TTL is a driver circuit and the CMOS is a load circuit here. Now see what is the difference between the first alternate and second alternate. In the first alternate, we have used a buffer circuit, TTL buffer circuit. That buffer circuit is producing the high voltages for handling the CMOS circuits. But now in this case, we are using the level shifter here. We are using the level shifter. So this level shifter will also takes the lower values of input outputs, and they will be converted into the higher voltages here. And see this here, for the level shifter also you are giving the maximum of the 10 volts here. So when the CMOS is operating at the 10 volts and the TTL gate is operating with the 5 volts, so therefore the TTL will have the lower voltages of output than the CMOS. So these voltages, they cannot drive the CMOS circuits here. So that's why in between these two, we are using an interfacing circuit level shifter. So the level shifter, it rises the low outputs of the TTL to the higher input values of the CMOS, so we can easily handle the TTL outputs to the CMOS inputs here. So the TTL outputs can easily handle the CMOS inputs here. So do you understand this? Do you understand these circuits here? These are very simple concept. Only the thing is we are using an external component which is used to rise the voltages to the CMOS levels. So do you understand this? Now we will go to the second one. So till now, we have seen that the TTL is driving the CMOS gates here. Now the CMOS is driving the TTL here. So when the CMOS is driving the TTL inputs, the CMOS outputs driving the TTL inputs. If it is the case, the CMOS circuit is the driver circuit and the TTL is the load circuit here. Load circuit. So before we going into the interfacing of TTL to the CMOS, now let us see the voltage and current values of the CMOS logic and the TTL. In this case, we have an example that CMOS 4000B. Okay, it is a 4000B. And for this TTL, again, we may you can take the LS TTL gate. These are the maximum ratings and minimum values for the, I mean that the voltage and current ratings that we have given here. So observe this one. So from this, you can see that the CMOS is a driver circuit and the TTL is the load circuit. So that which means the CMOS is driving the TTL inputs. So now, if you see here, the output high state value and the output low state value of the CMOS, they can easily handle the TTL high input voltage and TTL low input voltages here, because the output of the CMOS is now it is going now it is applying as the input of the TTL. Similarly, here also the low voltage of the CMOS output, it is connecting as the input of the TTL, because because the CMOS is driving the TTL inputs here. So now the output voltages can easily handle the TTL inputs here, because the VOH is 4.95 volts and it can easily handle the 2 volts for the TTL, and the VOL is 0.05 volts. The VOL output is 0.05 volts. But what is the maximum voltage here? 0.8. So the 0.05 is obviously it is the less than the 0.8. So therefore the VOL, that is the low state of the CMOS output, can easily handle by the TTL input, or the TTL input can easily accept this voltage here. And now coming to the current values here. Voltages, from the voltage point of view, there are no difficulties. We can there are no difficulties. The CMOS can easily handle the TTL voltages, input voltages. Now coming to the currents here. So the CMOS is a output circuit, the TTL is a input circuit, because the output of the CMOS is going to the TTL inputs. So now let the CMOS has the high output here. So when the CMOS is at high output, what is the maximum output current that is flowing in the output of the CMOS is 0.4 milliamperes. 0.4 milliamperes. Okay, and if you see at the TTL input, the TTL input requires the 40 microamperes. So the 40 microamperes is smaller, or which is much lesser than the 0.4 milliampere, say, because it is in the milliampere range and it requires the microampere range. So in the high state output, the high state output current can easily handle the 40 microamperes of the TTL gate. So there is no problem with this high state current. But look at the second condition. The CMOS output is at low state. When the CMOS output in low state, the maximum current that is flowing in the CMOS output is only 0.4 microamperes. But the TTL has a very significantly high current, which is 1.6 milliamperes current. Now let's see this small 4.4 milliampere current, it cannot drive the 1.6 milliampere input of the TTL. The VOH, VOL, IOH, from these three, there are no difficulties for the TTL inputs. But the difficulty that is from the IOL maximum is having only 0.4 milliampere current, but this 0.4 milliampere current is supposed to handle the 1.56 milliampere current of the TTL. So it is not possible. So that's why we required an interfacing circuit here. See here. Next one. So what is the condition here? The CMOS is driving the TTL. That is the case. The CMOS outputs driving the TTL inputs. Just now we have seen this. The CMOS driving the TTL in high state, there is no problem, or there are no problem with respect to the voltages and currents here. With respect to the voltages and the currents, there are no problems or issues with this one. There are no problems or issues with this. But the problem arises from this case here. CMOS driving the TTL in the low state. So CMOS output voltages satisfy the TTL input in low state, because we have already seen. But where the current in the low state is not satisfied here. The current is not satisfied here. So here in the low state, the current is, in the low state, the current is 0.4 milliampere. In the low state, the current is 0.4 milliampere. But the TTL transistor, it requires a current of IL is 1.6 milliamperes. It requires a current of 1.6 milliamperes. So this small 0.4 milliampere current, it cannot handle the 1.6 milliampere of current. So that here we are using the 4050B buffer. So this is a CMOS buffer. This is a CMOS buffer. So this CMOS buffer, it takes the 0.4 milliampere of current and it producing the 3 milliampere of output current. So input is 0.4. Okay. And this 4050B CMOS buffer has an output of current 3 milliamperes. What is the required current? 1.6 current. So now the output at the buffer is 3 milliampere current. So the TTL input gates can be easily handled by this 3 milliampere of current here. So do you understand this? CMOS driving the TTL inputs. In the low state, there are no issues or no difficulties. The only problem is during the output state, the IOL current is 0.4 milliampere, and this small current, it cannot handle the 1.56 milliampere current. The required current is 1.56 at TTL, but the available current is only 0.4 milliampere, so which is insufficient. So we are using the buffer here. So this buffer rises the current levels here, so that the TTL inputs can easily handle. This is CMOS driving the TTL. Now the last case, with this we will conclude the session. High voltage CMOS driving the TTL here. So here the high voltage CMOS is a driver circuit and the TTL is a load circuit, because this CMOS gate is driving this TTL gate. So now the difficulty for this higher voltages is the CMOS gates are operating at 5 volts and the TTL gates are operating at the 5 volts. Here the voltages are 15 volts and here the operating voltage is 5 volts. So therefore, obviously there will be difference in the voltage logic levels here. For 15 volts of the power supply, the voltage levels are different. For 5 volts of the TTL gate, the voltage levels are different. So now, to connect the TTL input gates to the CMOS higher CMOS gate outputs, here we are using again the CMOS buffer here. So where this CMOS buffer 4050B, the maximum voltage is 5 volts. So when the operating voltage is 5 volts, this CMOS buffer, it cannot produce or it cannot give a voltage greater than the 5 volts here, or it is not above the 5 volts. So therefore, when these higher output voltage as the CMOS gate are given to the CMOS buffer, and this CMOS buffer, it produces a voltages in the range of the 5 volts. So now this 5 volts can easily handle the TTL gate inputs. So this is the concept here. That is the level transition using the CMOS buffer. You are changing the level, output voltage levels and currents to the compatible state of the TTL input here. So do you understand this? So do you understand this interfacing concepts here?
Yes, sir.